Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I'm going to work on a lot of the maps and some of these spells. I'd previously done Identify Hero as the first adventure spell that I built. And what I did this time is I dumped in basically a lot of my map rendering stuff as well as my spellbook code. I gave it the view world. So this is if you're just looking at the world map that you access through the adventure panel here. I gave it a few different sprites of this animation on how these dots sort of glow. Um, and then I gave it this is a view world if you can see everything, I guess. And so I put this up there as another image example. And I said, well, this is a long prompt. I spent 2 hours writing this prompt. I spent way longer writing this prompt than I did testing it. I'm rebuilding the game engine for Heroes of Might and Magic from 1995. I want to work on map generation. There's an adventure map, and I include the screenshots. And then this mini map up here in this corner, this view world, I guess it's here. This is the mini map is replaced by some sort of box, and then there's an exit button on it. Now, first of all, there's an adventure map. It's the first button option on the adventure panel, and it brings up this screen, that I show here. And this mini map shows view world BMP. So let's just go down and have a look at these view files here. We're looking at this stuff. So view heroes, view puzzle, view artifacts, view towns, view world. And so these are the main ones. And then there's also something in legend, I think. This is what you see when you do view all, view resources, and view mines. So this gives you, it's funny that gold is G and gems is J. Okay, well, there you go. It's like the hard G sound versus the other J sound. Probably an etymologist or a linguist could define what the difference is there. The hard G, like I guess in English we say gigabytes now mostly. But if you ever seen the movie Back to the Future, the guy says 1.21 gigawatts. And so giga is actually, I think it's more of a British expression, and giga is actually like gigantic. There's actually giga is actually potentially the correct way to pronounce that. But giga just took off in the 90s and became the sort of default American pronunciation. And I don't actually know what British people do. But I think I had a British professor in engineering school, and he used giga all the time, and we just found it funny as American engineering students. We're like, why did he say giga? It's giga. And then I've come to later on understand, and rewatching Back to the Future, I was like, oh, actually, maybe he was right. Maybe we were all wrong and sort of memed gigabyte into existence versus gigabyte, which might be the proper way to pronounce it. But I digress. Anyway, we also have a whole bunch of these maps. There's like a lot of map elements in here that are these are just absolutely tiny. You can barely see, but this is like a little piece of a town or a castle in town 6. We have, what else do we have? We have mountain 6, which is a whole bunch of the mountain tiles, which correspond to the mountain 32 tiles, 1-for-1. So basically, they took the 32 by 32 pixels, 32 by 32 pixel tiles, and they also made 6-pixel versions. We have these little mini flags. They're kind of cute. They look like little golf course flags or something out of Ski Free. So what was I looking for? We're looking for ground. So I'm going to show you ground. Ground 32 is our water, grass, snow, swamp, lava, desert, and then some dirt at the end here, right? Well, in ground 6, we have the first 5 are water, the next 5 are grass, then we have snow, swamp, lava, desert, and then and then it turns into some weird stuff here. So I don't really know what all this other stuff is. It actually, so after 30, it turns into basically like a, how do I describe this? After 30, it becomes a rotation of the previous ones. And like this 44, this is like a placeholder. So I don't really know what these extra tiles are for here. I basically just knew what to do for like the first 30 or so. And I actually didn't include dirt in here, so I think I might have made a mistake even in this prompt. But I basically said that these 62 tiles versus 0 to 123 in ground 32. So there are 32 additional tiles in ground 6, but they appear to be rotations of the other tiles. So mountain 6 is 6 pixel icons corresponding to mountain 32 frames. Tree 6, the 6 pixel icons corresponding to tree frames. The only difference is the last 3 here, 98 to 100. If I go to tree here, let's hit T, tree 6, we have 97. And if we go to tree 32, we have 100. And then there's these 3 like desert structures. These don't get, so the desert doesn't get vegetation in this regard. I feel like I should fix that, but whatever. That was their design choice and I support it. Town 6 we already looked at. Flag 6 we already looked at. Spheres is, these are the dots that are going to glow on the map to show us a few things. The only ones that I'm aware of, blue represents artifacts, and brown is actually like the base color of yellow. And so the brown sphere represents where the hero is located, like where the highlighted hero is located on the map. Glowing yellow sphere highlights the currently selected hero position on the map. And blue represents artifacts that you see with the view artifact spell, view all spell, or the world map. The letters, if we go up here, higher, letters is, these are actually like W, M, O, S, C, J, G. These are the letters for resources or mines, and they're centered inside of a gray sphere for view resources, view mines, or view all, etc. I have 6 more adventure spells, and so I list view mines, view resources, view artifacts, view heroes, view towns, and view all. So we're doing 6 adventure spells now, and the world map. That's our focus at this moment. So, second here. Okay, got it. So view all, view mines, view resources. Each replace the mini map in the upper right corner. And then we also have these backgrounds that I showed you earlier: view heroes, view artifact, view towns, and then view all, view world, view mines, view artifacts, view towns. These all use the legend.icn exit button. So we literally just have a single button here for exit. And then I go into the advanced adventure button world. So I want to display the explored map with fog of war covering unexplored tiles. The currently selected hero is highlighted. I mean, it's basically this. The currently selected hero, this guy, Antoine, is represented by this flashing yellow dot. The flashing blue dots indicate artifacts. That's the endless sack of gold there. There's no castle. So this is view artifacts here, actually, instead of the world map, but it would show this and it wouldn't show these, and it would show a castle here, and there might be a mine shown there as well. And then I specify how the mines are highlighted. Resources are not highlighted on the map. You can basically just see them, and you need to use view resources spell to view those. You can't see those on the regular world map. So anyway, I'm going through a long version of that, and I think that I should have had view art. No, I have view artifacts down here. So anyway, I explain how view resources works, which this is view artifacts here. What else do I have? That's view world. So in view world, we see our map. We see the flags by the castles. We have a flag by this hero. There's a flag representing these other heroes, which are in the castle. We have the artifacts up there. There's a bunch of artifacts around. We have all the mines listed, and then this town with no flags is in the middle. And so that's view. That was view world, which is also basically view all would be that plus resources and a legend. And that's view world. This is view this is view mines, actually, I think. Yeah, this is view mines, view artifacts. That's the thing from identify heroes. That's the message from identify heroes. So anyway, view towns. It just shows you where the town is on the map. It's not that complicated. I didn't snap a picture of it. View heroes shows you where, I guess I don't have that one shown either, but it just shows a flag where each hero is, which you would see. You can see it here. There's one here for my hero. There's one here in each of these castles for the enemy heroes there. And then I say we're going to load the maps, these tiles behind it, and the buttons and all that is going to be loaded in resources, and we're going to load all of these 6-pixel tile map components in there as well. And we're going to come up with a way to convert this 16 by 16 viewable area is basically this, and we're going to replace that with a 72 by 72 6-pixel tile map and have it be basically centered. And so it starts off and it says, oh, I can't find resources. Well, okay, I stop it and I give it resources. And I think legend.icn is already there. Then it asked for something else about rendering, and I said, oh, well, here, take the render UI and render utils. Okay, now it's got everything. So it's going to create worldmap.h. It's going to do terrain, town tiles, mines, spheres, resource pile spheres, artifact spheres, which are going to be blue, hero flags, and then it says selected hero is skipped here and drawn as a yellow sphere in past 7, so it's always on top. That's not true. It doesn't skip it. The flag is still drawn. There's still a flag that's drawn there. And then the BMP file here that's just for the button. And then it writes an integration file for how I should integrate this into resources and game main. So I made the patches. I got a small compiler error where it did the wrong mine function, I think. Is mine is in mine entry, not mine state. Okay. So it also fixed this hero flag behavior, and I think I called that out as being not correct also. Yeah, I said this was not correct, so it fixed that as well, and I didn't do a compile yet. So let's look at what this build does. So we're going to have to, we can just render claw, but we can look at the world map first. Okay, that's good. There's no flashing on these. That's not exactly what I want, but we'll just check it out. We're just investigating here. Okay, we got view resources. That's cool. Let's see if we can cast view resources. Okay, we can, and we're seeing them. These are off-centered. So that's a wood, but it's like off-center a little bit. So all of these, it looks okay. It's just off-center. So that's all right. Let's build another structure and see. Let's just build a couple of Mage Guild floors. Okay, nothing there. I think view artifacts is a level 2, so we would have gotten view artifacts. Now we can get view towns and maybe view heroes, I think. Okay, we got identify hero. And let's see if we get view all. Let's see if we're lucky. Normally you don't want view all. And the other spells would be more useful, but today we want view all. Nope, we got the other more useful spells. Well, let's quickly cast identify hero. And let's just quickly check that we can still identify other heroes. Yep. Yep. Okay. So we'll try another build and see how the other ones look, if we can get view artifacts or something else in there. Got Tyro. We got view mines. Okay, well, let's see what view mines does. Okay, that looks okay. It looks off center again with the text, but we knew that before. Did I? Nope, I need to cycle the day. Okay, we didn't get anything there. Well, didn't get anything there, so could have tried for view all, but try once more here, close to. Sort of at the mercy of the RNG on some of these videos, so it can drag on a little bit. I won't be offended if you skip ahead here while I build structures and hunt for the spells in the RNG that we want. No, we're getting some awesome mage guilds with no adventure spells. I personally prefer the battle spells. Nope, nothing. So anyway, after this, after we complete these spells, we just have Dimension Door and Town Gate and Summon Boat as our remaining spells. So we're getting pretty close to having all the spells implemented, which I was pretty intimidated when I started working on it, and now I'm just kind of like, wow, yeah, I've come pretty far. Like, this is kind of cool. Spells weren't actually as hard as I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be harder. It probably helps if I give myself some credit for being good at writing the prompts and being relatively thorough, but you know, I've definitely done some inefficient things and made a few boneheaded decisions. You know, I guess the biggest ones being not decoding the original battle sprites as ICNs and trying to like hack whatever the heck was going on there. All right, so let's just move the hero away a little bit, and that's what we're dealing with there. We don't have flags also on the castle. Let's cast View Heroes, and we see there's 3 heroes up there and our hero as well, but that's okay. And let's cast View Resources. That worked. And let's cast View All. So that looks pretty good. We see the artifacts, we see the resources, we see the mines, we see the towns, we see the heroes, but we are missing the flags on either side of the castle as well. So that's where we're at. You did a good job. I'm polite to the AI sometimes. Fixed artifacts. Oh, I wish I could have shown you that. Fixed artifacts based on the tile are not being detected and displayed on view artifacts. So basically that endless sack of gold, which is a fixed artifact on Claw, that's based on the tile. It's not randomly generated. That artifact is not being detected by view artifacts. So that's the first bug to fix. the letters, I want to move them back by 2 and back by 2 on the X and Y direction to try and recenter them. Towns and castles are displayed, but there should be 2 flags on the left and right side of the castle. And the one on the left side should be mirrored. And it should be the same color as like the player, like the player control. The brown, yellow sphere and the blue spheres are not animating with palette shifting. Here's some documentation about it, and this is how we want to make the blue and yellow spheres glow. So it fixed the flag shifts, etc. And I made a little change to it, but basically it still didn't get these spheres glowing. And I was a little like, they're not quite working how I want them to. So it takes another attempt at the palette cycling to make the blue and yellow spheres glow. And then I was happy with that, and I add in the documentation. Now I say I was happy with that. It did something that kind of worked. And I was like, that's close enough for now, and I can go back in and create it. And I'll show you what the, what it created, and it's like, it's okay, but it needs to be updated. So you see that they are pulsating, but they're not doing that concentric pulsation that they were doing before. So first of all, let's send Crag Hack out for some gold or whatever. And let's recruit another hero. As much as I like Ergon. Let's take Ergon here, get rid of the slow guys, take some medium guys, and see if we can go up here and pick up the windmill. And now let's have a look at the map here. Okay, so we're covering that. What happens if Ergon moves away? Do we see... Nope, it doesn't change color, which I don't think it's supposed to. I don't know if it actually is or not. I need to double check the game and the map. But you can also see we have the flags on the castle here. So that's good. Let's send Crag back to the town, and we're gonna buy some mage guilds and see if we can test a few spells. We did get view mines there. You know what? Let's send Rebecca back. Just because she's got some more knowledge. Okay, we got view artifacts there. Let's just keep building, and then we'll see what we get with the spell castings. Okay, we did not get view heroes or view towns, and let's see if we get view all. Nope. Alright, well, we'll just test it quick with Rebecca and call it. But we got view artifacts. They are glowing in a way. It's a different glow. I'm not super happy with that, but it's better than nothing, and I can go back and fix that. You know, view artifacts and view resources I don't really consider to be a super critical part of the game. You know, I do want to do it correctly, but it just kind of knocks itself down in a priority. And view mines, that also looks correct. The letters are nice and centered. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So we've, as it says here, we have implemented the 6 view spells. So now we just have Summon Boat, Dimension Door, and Town Gate. And the next major pushes in my development are going to be doing some sea stuff. So basically building a boat from the shipyard, you know, building the shipyard, building the boat from the shipyard, getting in the boat and having that end your turn, and sailing around and dealing with the movement bonuses that the sorceress gets and that the other artifacts give you, and just making sure that's all good. I already have the buoy element or the buoy event implemented. But I need to do like hero versus hero battle on the sea. And I've sort of done that with the shipwreck. Like I know the battlefield generates. But that's what's outstanding. right now. And then I also need to work on the battles in the castle. So building the castle walls, building the catapult, and animating the catapult, having the garrison that shoots out from the castle tower. Just getting all of that sorted out so we can properly do castle battles. So that's going to be a big undertaking in the next week or two. But that's where we're at for now. So bye for now.